Welcome back to East Tennessee's Hidden History, a WATE 6 on your side special presentation.
Art is the imitation of life, and for one of Knoxville's sons, his story translates the world as he saw it. Harlem Renaissance painter Buford Delaney was born in Knoxville, but his talent would take him to Boston, New York, and Paris. In February, a new exhibit will take us inside his life and his friendship with world-renowned writer James Baldwin. Preparations are underway to bring the art of one of the great painters of the Harlem Renaissance era back to his hometown of Knoxville.
He learned his craft here in Knoxville, but then he sharpened his skills in Boston, in New York City, and eventually he settled in Paris, where he considered Paris to be his home.
Born in 1901, Buford Delaney forged friendships with the great thinkers and activists of his time.
This sketchbook here shows you a seated woman on a park bench. That's actually a sketch for several paintings that Buford did of Rosa Parks.
It's his time with writer James Baldwin that will now take center stage.
He evolved as an artist and as a creative individual, and that's something that inspired James Baldwin greatly. Baldwin's one of the great writers of the 20th century.
The influence both artists had on one another will now be seen in an exhibit at the Knoxville Museum of Art called Buford Delaney and James Baldwin Through the Unusual Door.
We're going to have archival objects and images, some of which have never before been seen or published. We're going to have letters between Baldwin and Delaney on view. It'll basically show all the different threads of their story, the points at which their lives intersected in different places and in different situations.
And adding depth to this exhibition will be artifacts like these, original photos of Buford Delaney in Knoxville, as well as showcasing his relationship with James Baldwin.
These are later photographs of Delaney and Baldwin that have never been published, and they show the two of them in Paris, walking the streets.
Knoxville Museum of Art curator Stephen Wicks says they were able to bring in more of Delaney's works from museums like the Smithsonian to add to their collection at KMA.
If you go to major museums around the world, you will see his paintings in some of the finest settings that you can imagine, next to the works of de Kooning and Pollock and other major artists, but he's still, in my view, under-recognized.
But one exhibit at a time, right here in East Tennessee, Delaneys World will shine. The exhibit, Buford Delaney and James Baldwin Through the Unusual Door, will open February 7th and run through May 10th. The National Endowment for the Arts gifted KMA a $40,000 grant for the exhibition. This exhibit is part of several events on Buford Delaney, including a presentation by the Beck Cultural Exchange Center at the Bijou Theater February 24th. Also, Delaney's story forms a basis of the opera Shadowlight, making its world premiere in a production by the Marble City Opera at the Beck Cultural Exchange Center February 28th and 29th. And the University of Tennessee hosting a symposium on the work of Baldwin and Delaney, and that's just to name a few. For a full look, just go to our website, WATE.com. A literary star from Knoxville coming home as the city honors her family's roots. Nikki Giovanni, a world-acclaimed author, educator, and poet, helping unveil a historic marker placed near the site that once was her grandparents' home, part of an African-American community which was largely demolished during an urban renewal project for the construction of the Civic Coliseum and more. Giovanni talks about the impact in her essay titled 400 Mulvaney Street. But when we spoke with Giovanni, she was focused further back to when Knoxville and the people here contributed to ending slavery.
I'm so proud to be a Knoxvillian because we in the Appalachian Mountains, we in that Appalachian Trail, we in this area saved this country.
Giovanni hopes the marker will urge people to learn more about the people who came from here. Thank you so much for sharing in our exploration of East Tennessee's hidden history. We'll bring you more stories of local African Americans for Black History Month in the weeks ahead. From WATE 6 on your side, I'm Tirsa Smith. Good night.